Welcome guys, it's the Farmer on Fire again. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself in self-quarantine and keeping busy, because for sure I am. I'm telling you, I'm having a time of my life. A lot of you have been asking me, Wangari, if you can mentor me, I want to start farming, and I feel like this is the best time to start it. And how do I go about it? So I wanted just to start with the 5 things you need to make sure that you're starting out as a prepared and a farmer who knows what they are doing. So number 1 is water. Water. Wherever land that you have, you need to have water. So please ensure that if there is no water, maybe city council water or sources of water, a river nearby where you can pump water, or a borehole, please do not engage in farming. And I know there are parts of this country that just wing it, but us in Kajiado, we don't have that luxury. People in Nyahururu and I think parts of Mount Kenya can farm depending on rainfall. But for me as a farmer and as a modern farmer, I don't want to wait on rainfall. I want to have some cards in my chest. I want to at least have some of the risk cut because I can control the water flow. So guys, so that brings me to the next point, which is irrigation. Do not break your back trying to carry the water with wheelbarrows the way we used to when we were kids. Do you remember those wheelbarrows that were made of wood, and even the wheel was made of wood? I mean, that's just perfect engineering if you can think of it, but I'm still amazed from where we've come from. We are in the era of irrigation. Use furrow irrigation or drip method. Those are usually my 2 types of irrigation that I can go for. If you're doing large scale, if the land is for lease and you don't to invest a lot of infrastructure in drip irrigation, like an acre is going for 120,000 just installation costs. That's too much. So not installation plus buying the materials, like making sure you have drip irrigation on 1 acre is about 120,000, and maybe you're leasing the land for 3 years, so it won't have returned if you start making such big huge investments. So you can try the sprinkler method, which I also think works very well. It's a big waste of water compared to drip irrigation, but it's still better. It's technology. You're moving forward. You're not using the old method. So unless you guys are doing kitchen gardening, if you call yourself a farmer, you at least need to have a method of watering your crops on a turn of a button or a turn of a key. So number 3 is to make sure that you have the right seeds. I talk about seeds because most people have gone wrong because you bought a seed that didn't germinate, you bought a seed that didn't produce well, you bought a seed that the market didn't like. Invest in your seed. And me, from my experience in farming, go hybrid. You'll never go wrong. Go hybrid. I know when you hear the price and you're like, so an ordinary seed, this sachet is 200 and this one is 1,500, and you feel like you want to run away. No, invest in a good seed. Invest in a good seed. I cannot overemphasize that. So some of the good producers of good seeds are Amiran, as I've said. I get my tomatoes from them. Eva F1, any day, every day. They are such strong plants. And the fruit is so big, I don't need to go beating drums and telling people, please come buy my tomatoes. No, I just show them, and believe me, they will call their friends to come and buy as well. So that, and then there are other companies that do seedlings. It's good to have to get seedlings from a seedling company if you are short on time. If you're able to do it yourself, well and good, but also because they sell to you per seedling, not per seed. You see, they have a risk of someone germinates. There were issues with coming up and everything. They said you a crop, like the way how trees, we buy them as seedlings. That's the same way you can buy seedlings, let's say of skuma wiki, of onions, of mbogas, of tomatoes, like that. I hope you're getting me. So there are some companies out there who we are also going to engage in the future so that they can advertise on our channel and get farmers to know about the advantages of seedlings compared to planting it yourself. For myself, I think for tomatoes, I plant directly. I feel like that transportation process still leads to a bit of loss, and I've tried all methods. But things like capsicum, I have learned the hard way. Just go and buy ready seedlings from the seedling producers. And so bring me to my fourth point is make use of greenhouses, make use of mulching paper, make use of, so that you can cut down on labor, you can cut down on pest control, because a greenhouse is contained. It means you will use less pesticide, organic or chemical. You will use less of that because you will have contained, you umejengea your plants a house, so they're more comfortable there and they are less exposed to harsh weather and extreme, like even the cold. The tomatoes that survived the December cold and rainy season is because they were in the greenhouses. The ones that were outside got ile ugonjwa ya baridi. It's called blight. Yes, so stay away from things that expose you to such huge risk, especially if you are an urban farmer. And as I've explained to you before, urban farming is where you use technology to maximize on a small space. Yes, so, and then last to my fourth point is good farmhand. When you have a good worker, it will reduce your stress. When you call and you find your farm worker has left and didn't even tell you that he's leaving, and you have machineries in the farm, they are waiting to go to the airport and you don't have that, please guys, make sure that you have a good, reliable farmhand. Make sure that you're keeping them comfortable. At least if the farm is far, you can be able maybe to be going to the wholesale and making sure that they have dry foods, giving them a kitchen garden alongside your farm for them to farm their foods, for them to sustain themselves so that they are happy. Checking that they have credit to call if they have any issues and those kinds of things. Taking care of your employee means that they also take care of you and take care of your crop. Also, it's good if you give them a clear understanding of the expectation. It's not necessarily that you type out a JD and sign contracts and stuff like that. Although companies like Latia are doing that very well and at a very professional level, especially for farming. But I'm just saying it's good to have a clarity that kazi yako inaanza hapa na inaishia hapa, and this is what I expect from you. And if I'm not here, these are the things you check for every day. If it's things like scouting, they should be aware of how to scout tomatoes. Not that you come after a week and you find half your tomatoes have gone because there is a pest that came and they didn't realize it was happening. So it's good also to empower them so that they have a bit of training on what is the expectation of them working for you. So guys, I hope you subscribe and you stay tuned for bigger, better videos, and I'm loving your response. Thank you guys for continued support and interaction. Yes, I'll see you on the next video.